Good morning, everybody. This is Dee Dee, and I am bringing to you a design team call out for Shabbydabbydoodah. She has asked that people use her designs in a journal or cards or tags or whatever they are comfortable doing. So I have chosen to use her 10-piece vintage cake pastries with a Paris theme, and also the 34-piece vintage cake themed ephemera kit. That ephemera kit comes with tags, envelopes, little ephemera, and the backgrounds come with full-size pages of graphics, and then it also comes with a couple of tags. So this is my project that I came up with. She has so many design packages in her Etsy shop. It was really hard to choose from. It took me about 4 days to narrow it down to 4. And I finally decided that I wanted to do something I'd never done before and try to use lots of things that I had never used that have just been in my stash for a while. So this is what I've come up with. This journal measures about 7 inches wide. It's 1.5 inches tall at the spine. Obviously you can see it's kind of a chunky monkey. And then it is 5.5 inches height wise. I have used some ribbon I had in my stash that has the Eiffel Tower and Paris on it. On the cover, you'll notice that these are kind of a puff upholstery looking. This is just a purple satin. These are crocheted flowers that I crocheted myself. Okay, so starting into it, on the front cover, there is a pocket here. This is a vintage recipe card. It was a page and I just folded it in half. This journal kind of took a life of its own when I was creating it, because it's not how I envisioned it, but I love it. So I have also taken most of her ephemera and lined it with tea stain or coffee stained papers, and then I used gold thread on the top and purple on the bottom. And for those of you that don't know how to do that, you would load your thread, the thread you want on top, you would load on the top of your machine, and then you would load thread, the other color thread that you want, in your bobbin. And most of the time it turns out pretty good. Okay, so moving on. I have used pastry bags from a local coffee shop. They were kind enough to give me plenty. So I have created a couple of different things. I have sewed little tiny hidden pockets in here with some of her smaller ephemera. And I should also add the disclaimer that when the very first time I printed out this kit, I had never printed PDF files before, and therefore I didn't understand how they worked. My first printing, it printed the background pages 2 to a sheet, so they were like half the size. And same with the ephemera packs, they were like little bitty. And so going back and watching a couple of her videos, I figured out that you have to print it a certain way to get it to go to full screen. And so now I know how to do that, which is great. So I ended up printing 2 sets of each. And so throughout this journal, you will see a lot of different sizes. Like, this is part of the kit, and this is how, like, the size it's originally supposed to be printed in. But when I printed it the first time, I got little tiny pieces of that, which, like I said, this journal's taken on a personality all its own, and so it worked out great. Back to this, we do have little tiny pockets, hidden pockets, and then there's one large pocket up here at the top. On this side, we have some paper flowers that I made, and I muslin them that's stamped, and then a couple little cards that slip in here into the little tiny hidden pockets here. Okay, and this is the first signature. These I have left intentionally more blank than I normally would, because there isn't a whole lot of journaling space anywhere else in the book. So this is one of her envelopes, and this one is printed at the right size. A little later on you'll see the differences. Okay, so inside I have included some of her journaling cards, also backed and sewn. And then I made this cute little paper clip for this one. And so then here are the different papers. This paper is I hand dyed using RIT dye. This is tea stained. Okay, then we come to the second pocket in the series. And this is also one of her graphics in this kit. And it flips open, and this is a cupcake liner. And then this pocket kind of goes up pretty far. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. This is printed right size. This is printed the wrong way, but it turned out great. Okay, and then I've made a little booklet out of the half sheets that I printed incorrectly. It turned into a very, very cute little book to use. And then up here, we have, this was another one of the half pages that I printed incorrectly, but it worked out well for the pockets once I backed this and sewed it. This is another little tag. And I will show you printed right, printed small. Okay. And then this is just a decorated part, the back side of the first one. Here is another pastry bag, and it has another one of the vintage papers out of the recipe books. And then I have taken, this is also one of the half sheets that I printed incorrectly, and then I have stamped it with a recipe card. This too, this actually comes in a full size when it's printed correctly. This is one of the half sheets. But when you print it out, it will actually come in a full sheet. This is the back side of that bag. There's a flap here for a pocket. And you have some more journaling cards in here. Another little recipe card. Okay, then we come to the second signature. And this becomes a tuck. Like that. We just have some more stamping. It's pretty much the same stamping throughout these papers. It might be like on the different page or whatever, but similar stamps throughout the whole thing. And then you have another tuck on this side for more cards. This is also another little pocket with the same type of ephemera in there. Another recipe card. And then this is another one of the background sheets that are printed small. And up here, then you just still have some more journaling cards. The recipe card. A little bit of decoration here on the side. And then this is the last set of envelopes here. Again, these are the half sheet printed backgrounds. This one also does come in a full background, and it looks just as lovely full size as it does half size. And in this pocket, we have just more journaling cards in here. This is also one of the background pages, and it's got faint lining here for journaling. More vintage recipe paper. And then, I don't know if you can tell what this is supposed to be, but I love how it turned out. This is a cupcake and another one of my hand crocheted flowers. Okay, on this side of it is a, this pocket does actually kind of open pretty wide. I mean, you have a lot of storage in there. And then I have made this little book here. this was the printed right size. So I just filled out with tea stain papers. All right, and this is the last signature. Just some decorations here. A little bit more stamping on similar pages. Back one also has a tuck. Okay, and for the last pocket, just some more journaling cards and another recipe card. And the back side, this is also one of my favorite pages. In French, this is how, via Google, sugar, cocoa, and flour. And then I've included also a little line and some little removable spoons if you decide that you don't like those, or maybe you want to hang your little pieces of ephemera there instead. It's entirely up to you. And these open up for like other little storages of whatever you'd like to put in there. Ticket, stamps, whatever you'd like to put in. And also this pocket does open pretty wide for all of it. So that's one entire bag. And so there's a ton of storage in there. And then, sorry I bumped you. The very last pocket on the other side of the flap is just a spot to stick more journaling cards in there. And the last and final piece of this journal is these little dangles. And these bottom pieces, there's a plum, a cherry, and a lemon. Those are vintage, and those are kind of special to me. These ones came from my grandmother's crafting stash. So I just thought it was really fun to use them here. So thank you very much, Tina, for putting out the call out. Thank you for your consideration. And I have watched most of the ones that have already submitted their books, and I don't envy you because there is a ton of great concepts and great ladies out there. I just thank you for opening it up and giving some of us new kids a try, and I look forward to speaking to you. Have a lovely day. Bye.